Good morning, sweeties. We will continue with our reading text Red Riding Hood. In the first class, we talked that this is a story. Okay, هذه قصة. The type of the text is story. Okay, and we talked that Red Riding Hood lived in a forest. Her father was a woodcutter. He chopped and cut the wood in the forest. Her mother told her to take a cake and a bottle of fruit juice to her grandmother. Her grandmother lived at the edge of the wood and she was alone. Okay, her mother told Red Riding Hood to don't talk to anyone on the road, sorry. But Red Riding Hood forget what her mother said for her, and she started to talk with the wolf, okay, and she answered about the questions for the wolf politely. Now we will continue with our second part. راح نكمل الآن مع جزءنا الثاني. Okay. You are a kind girl, said the wolf in a friendly voice. Okay, now the wolf told Red Riding Hood that she is a kind girl, أنها فتاة لطيفة. Okay, she said this sentence in a friendly voice بصوت محبوب لطيف حنون. Okay, look, there are some lovely yellow flowers over there. Okay, the wolf told Red Riding Hood to look at the pretty yellow flowers. He wants from her to collect these yellow flowers also for her grandmother. Oh, yes, said Red Riding Hood. Thank you. حكت له نعم. Yes, they are beautiful yellow flowers. Okay. The wolf disappeared into the forest. اختفى فجأة. Disappear means to go from sight. To go from sight. Okay. The wolf disappeared into the forest and Red Riding Hood picked an enormous bunch of flowers. Okay. And Red Riding Hood, when the wolf disappeared, she started to pick. تقطف enormous bunch. Okay, enormous is an adjective which means huge, ضخم. Okay, very big. Bunch also is a noun which means group, مجموعة. Okay, she started to pick an enormous bunch of flowers. Okay, which type of flowers? What's the color of flowers? The yellow flowers that the wolf told her about them. Okay. At last, she came to her grandmother's house. She refers to Red Riding Hood. Okay, وصلت أخيرا إلى منزل جدتها. She knocked. Also she بتعود على Red Riding Hood. Okay, she knocked on the door and went in. Knocked الكي silent. Okay, طرقت الباب and went in. دخلت. The curtains were closed. ننتبه يا رابع اللفظ curtains. اوكي مس ك ك ك. اوكي سقطت سهوا مني امبارح ولفظتها بالسه. The curtains were closed. الستائر مغلقة. البرادي مغلقة. اوكي and at first she could see nothing. She refers to Red Riding Hood. كانت مش قادرة تشوف إشي. It was too dark. لاحظي عندي too تبعت بadjective dark عتمة ظلام. Okay. Why? Because the curtains were closed. Okay. She felt a little scared. شعرت بالخوف. Okay. But she was a brave girl. Who was a brave girl? مين هي الفتاة الشجاعة؟ Red Riding Hood. So she also refers to Red Riding Hood. She was a brave girl. Look at the word brave. It is an adjective. هي يا رابع صفة. Okay. Opposite بنعرف هي عكس. Opposite of scared. Brave شجاع. Scared خائف. إذن what's the opposite of a brave? Scared. Okay. She was a brave girl and she did not run away. ما هربت. Okay. Then she saw grandmother sitting up in her bed. Where was the grandmother sitting up? She was sitting up in her bed. في تختها. Okay, so where was the grandmother sitting up? She was sitting up in her bed. She was wearing. هون بدنا نحط أداة السؤال what. What was grandmother wearing? Okay, ماذا كانت ترتدي? When she was sitting in her bed. Number one, she was wearing her pretty pink shawl. Okay, shawl جميل. The color of the shawl is pink, and she had a big white nightcap. طاقية النوم. Nightcap طاقية النوم, and the color of the nightcap is white. Okay, on her head. But she looked very strange. Okay, she looked very strange. Okay, look at the grandmother here in the bed. She was sitting in the bed. She put her big white nightcap on her head. وضع طاقية النوم على رأسها, and she was wearing a pink shawl on her shoulders. ومرتدية شالها, and what's the color of the shawl? Pink. Okay, but she looked very strange. It seemed very strange. تبدو غريبة. Okay, Red Riding Hood was little scared. بلشت تخاف. Okay, now Red Riding Hood said, okay, oh grandmother, you have enormous ears. Okay, now Red Riding Hood noticed that the grandmother has enormous ears. دينين كبيرة. I can hear you with these ears, said her grandmother. Now her grandmother, طبعا هون يا رابع هاي مش جدتها الحقيقية. She is not the real her grandmother. Okay, she's the wolf. Okay, حكت لها أنا ديني كبار عشان أسمعك فيهم. I can hear you with these ears. Okay, Red Riding Hood said, oh, grandmother, you have enormous eyes. Okay, look at her eyes. They were enormous. كبار. I can see you with these eyes, said her grandmother. عشان أقدر أشوفك فيهم. Okay, Red Riding Hood said, oh, grandmother, you have a huge nose. Okay, huge, ضخم, which means very big. Okay, I can smell you with this nose. عشان أستطيع أشمك فيه. Smell means يشم. Okay, said her grandmother. Okay, and her big nose. Look at her nose. It was big. It twitched a little. Twitch means يرتعش. It is a verb which means to move a little. Okay, لهون بنوقف يا رابع, and we will continue tomorrow. Have a nice day.